I've been working on a quilt, sewing the sashings on around the blocks here. I stepped away for a few minutes, and when I came back I noticed that my bobbin thread had run out. So I'm going to show you how to use the repair feature that will bring you right back to where you left off so that you can continue stitching without disturbing the pattern that you have. Because I had stepped away from my stitching, when I came back and noticed that it had stopped stitching, it had already gone through the whole design, and I'm back to the finish screen. However, I don't want to click finish because I need to repair my pattern. So I'm going to click on repair pattern. It brings up the next screen, which shows my design right here with several features in here. I can go back to the previous screen. I still have my toolbox available. Underneath here I have my bobbin pull and my sewing button. But I also have other buttons that are here as well. I can trace back to where the stitches broke, which was actually not too far after I started this pattern. I could trace forward, but I'm not going to do that. And I can trace back one stitch at a time or trace forward one stitch at a time. And if when I get near to where I want to be, I can also nudge to the left, to the right, up or down to get my stitch exactly back where it was. I'm going to replace my bobbin now, and then I'll show you how I'm going to repair this particular design so that I can continue stitching it out. I've replaced my bobbin now, gone to the side of my quilt and checked it out with a little bit of test sewing on a practice space just to make sure that the tension is still correct. Now that I'm back near where I started on the screen, the closest stitch button right here is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to engage that when I get my needle close to where it broke off. I've lined my needle up right over the stitching. The stitching actually ran out right here. The bobbin ran out here. I'm going to go back maybe 4 or 5 or 6 stitches right into this area here and place my needle in that area like that. And now I'm going to tap on closest stitch. The machine did its little jog, and it is right over top of basically a needle hole. So I'm going to pull my bobbin, pulling bobbin on the screen. Bring up my bobbin thread, and you can see right here is the stitching line, and it pulled the bobbin up right in the stitches of that stitching line. I'm going to press sew. The needle will move back to the same spot, of course. It'll take a couple of knotting stitches. And then it's going to continue sewing to the end of the pattern again. On the screen you can see that it started the pattern just a little ways up from the beginning point. It's gone up to the top of the pattern, and now it's working its way back down the other side. The pattern is finished sewing right now without hardly any effort at all. I was able to replace my bobbin, go to the spot where the stitching broke, and finish stitching the pattern.